I was in the habit of migrating during the summer, and I started going to college, and of course this was during the Vietnam era, and there was a draft. And my second year of college, as I was accustomed to, we migrate up north with a family, and I lost my college deferment because I was not enrolled for the summer session. And 2 weeks after the summer session started, I got a draft notice up in Michigan saying, report to the induction center, you've been drafted. That began my military career. And military has always been very good to me. I think anytime you're in my office, you're going to hear nothing but good. And I'd like to say I have all my schooling credentials on my walls, but I don't. I've got my military credentials. I'm strong belief in the United States. Is very patriotic to the American flag. Well, because it was summer and the draft at this point, you would report to San Antonio, to one of their bases there, and from there on, my first military assignment was at Fort Bliss. And Fort Bliss is up in the El Paso area, and it's right in the middle of summer. I got drafted in June. By July and August, which are the two hottest months, there I was in El Paso, out in the desert of El Paso, doing my boot camp. After completion of the boot camp, I got stationed to Fort Gordon, Georgia, because I had been drafted as a military policeman. And as a military policeman, that's where you would go to training. Did Fort Benning, did the airborne stint, and then my first assignment was Oakland Army Base and Presidio Army Base in San Francisco as a military policeman. And that was the era that we had the hippie era, the Haight-Ashbury era, and all the Marines were coming through San Francisco, getting shipped out of the San Francisco Bay Area to Vietnam. So we had a lot of activity, and I was a sergeant by then. I had made rank real good, and I had always thought that Vietnam was something that was probably in my destiny, and it was. After a few months of San Francisco duty, the good life, I wound up getting my orders to go to Vietnam, and I got stationed at a fire base called Fire Base Sally, which is up by the demilitarized zone, and our home base was in a town called Hue, which was the communist capital today, and that's where Ho Chi Minh had decided that was the era where we were going to be, and 101st Airborne put itself right in the middle, and that's where I did most of my military duty, which was right in the Hue area, between Hue and the demilitarized zone. Most of my tours were there, so it was interesting. I did my year, got some good citations out of it. The military gave me a Bronze Star. That's for the action we saw. They gave me an Air Medal, and that's for getting out of helicopters in firefights more than 25 times. I got a couple Vietnamese military citations, a couple presidential citations. Did well. Came back. I was hoping they'd leave me here, but they didn't. They sent me to Europe. And I didn't want to go to Europe at that time because I had just come home. I wanted to stay in the U.S. But I got stationed in Heidelberg, and I was working at a NATO base, pulling security on their nuclear warheads that we have over there. And that was also very enlightening. And so I got a chance to see the world. Got a good education out of it, the military. When I got my master's degree, at graduation month was my last GI Bill check. So I took full advantage of it. Yes, just perfect timing. So military is nothing but good for me, nothing but positive.